and welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quana Terry.
and we would like to thank you guys for joining us here tonight on this platform. Hey Kwana, how you doing? I know it's been a few weeks that we haven't recorded. What's going on in your end? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Very busy, hence the reason why we haven't recorded. Just living life and enjoying the moment. And that's really what I've been doing. Just having a good time. Valentine's Day was amazing. I went out to Orlando. Just took like an impromptu trip and headed out there for the weekend to go to one of my favorite places in the world, which is Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure. And just getting up and going and of course working and singing, just so many different things that I'm doing right now that cause me to be extremely busy, but busy is always good. What about you?
Same here. I've been busy working. I was sick. I was also supposed to be on that Orlando trip, but it didn't work out for me. So it's okay. She had a lot of fun out there. I'm jealous. It's okay because I'm going. I'm going. I'm gonna try to plan that trip. Actually, she's gonna plan the trip for me. But well, because she is fabulous at that. Okay. And she knows it in and out. And I've never been there. So, she didn't know. Now she knows. Thank you, Kwana.
Uh-huh.
Um,
See how she did that? She put that on put me on the spot while we're recording, but I can still say no. I don't have to do it because you're not the boss of me. I
but
don't
she
have to
won't.
do that.
She won't say no. She won't say
Nah, but
no.
it'll be my pleasure for sure.
Thank you so much. But other than that, it's been the same. We've been doing our own thing, figuring our own stuff out, and now we're back.
Yeah, so of course you can expect additional content from us, consistent content from us over the next few months. And we have a lot of things happening, but we will definitely do our best to bring you some consistent content from this day forward.
Absolutely.
All right. So a lot of things have happened over the last, I guess, month or so. And we want to, delve into that. We want to bring it up because we haven't spoken about it. But the first thing that I want to talk about, one that I am so happy about, and we posted it on our page. But Tiana Taylor had won a Golden Globe, and that was exciting. I was so happy for her because she deserves it all. She has so much grit, and she's been working hard out here in these streets, and she's finally getting her flowers. So,
Absolutely. She looked
yeah.
amazing in that dress, I'll tell you that much.
What body tea? What a body tea, as I can say. Body tea.
Yeah.
Okay, that is one person that is always gonna show up looking good, abs on washboard. Okay, they're just looking phenomenal, and I love
Always.
it for her.
Yes.
Walk mean. I'm like, all right, like she comes in, owns the room, and I'm like, yes, girl, do that. And she deserves to be in those rooms. She's
Agreed.
worked hard to be in those rooms. So I'm happy that she's getting the recognition that she deserves.
Absolutely. Good for her. Kudos to her.
Yes, I think she won for best supporting actress, and I'm like, yes, girl, do that. Yes, yes. The other thing that has happened, this is more recent, was the passing of Jesse Jackson. Nicole, I know
Oh
you
my
heard
God.
that.
Yes. I was so devastated. I met him when I was a young girl. In my neighborhood. He came to speak at First Baptist Church on Astoria Boulevard in Queens. That was the most amazing because Jesse and all of them in the neighborhood. It was just like, oh my! It was him, Al Sharpton, all of them. So when I seen him on the street, mind you, we were going to the event, but just to run into him outside and he, shook my hand and that infamous smile that he had. Oh my goodness. I was just so in awe with him. And I was a little girl. So just imagine. I was like, so I understand, he's up there in age. So yes.
Ciao, bye.
Really
You
sad.
know what? Me and Jesse, I have like a little problem with him because I know he knew. He knew. Like I think he told Martin Luther King to go out on that balcony. I still believe it. I like like they mocked him. He mocked him. He knew what was going to happen to that man.
Oh, I don't think
So
he knew
I had a
that.
problem with that.
He loved Martin.
I'm putting Jesse Jackson up there with Trina from Why Did I Get Married, and I'm also putting him up there with what's his name, Michael Ealy, and For Color Girls. Like I have that much hate. Like I'm mad. Okay.
I can't with you. No, Jesse loves himself. And I think wasn't Jesse like 19 years old at that time?
Chill.
He was
Just
something. I can't remember, but yeah, no,
look that
he
thing
said
up. I'm
it
telling you,
all
he
the time.
did that.
But did you
Whatever.
see that video, that clip? Because Trump talked about it. Because back in the days, Trump was cool with everybody. Okay, so Trump talked about all the good things about Jesse Jackson, and then had the nerve to sit there and were like, he ain't like Obama. Why is Obama always coming up out of his name? But
He's such a child. Oh my gosh, he's such a child. Like
yo,
he every time I hear him speak, I'm taken back to a time when I was on a playground and we're having this banter. Like, oh, I don't like you and you don't like me either. Like, shut up
right.
already, sir. You like 70 something. Get a life.
But
The
wait. What I was trying to say is there was a
uh,
clip. Um, Jesse Jackson was being interviewed. This is a long time ago though, and I
uh,
guess Obama must have made him mad because he said something about he wish he can clip his balls. So Trump wasn't lying, but that was at that time. Like we dislike people for so many different reasons. It didn't say that he didn't dislike him as a man. I guess this is when Obama was president and
I'm
he didn't do
telling you,
something that he
Jesse
wanted.
set Martin up. Okay, but whatever.
You're so
Um,
silly.
yeah. But yeah, so he passed away. The one thing I didn't like was they didn't fly the flag at half mast, but they flew the flag for that Charlie Kirk guy. But why wouldn't you fly the flag at half mast for Jesse Jackson? It's like whatever.
That's
Would you really like him? You know what I'm saying? So I don't pay attention nowadays to what people say. I pay attention to their actions. And his
absolutely,
actions don't tell me that he was a supporter,
yeah.
it doesn't tell me that. So I'm not listening to nothing that he says. Whatever. But yeah, so Jesse Jackson, he
Oh God,
passed away. R.I.P. All that good stuff.
the hate is strong.
But another person that passed away. This is fairly recent.
I know.
McSteamy, um, Eric Zane passed
I was
away,
I was like, no,
and he had
not
ALS.
McSteamy. McSteamy.
McSteamy. He had ALS, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember when he came on to Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah, me too.
and he was just written in for one show, and the amount of reactions that he received, Shonda had to write him into the script now.
He did a great
And
job.
and he did such an amazing job in
Hmm.
that role, amongst other roles, but you kind of
Yeah,
remember him more so from there.
he
Um,
was in Burlesque.
he was in Burlesque,
Yes, he was in a
yes.
lot of things. He
And
was a
I
great
watched
actor.
Burlesque. You know how many times I watched Burlesque? That thing is on
Listen, that's my
Netflix.
show right there. That's my
What?
movie.
Come on now. Christina did an amazing job in that movie.
Hmm.
So did
And that was
Cher.
her first role. So
Yeah, she did great.
mhm.
So, watching Burlesque and the other roles that he played in, there was something else that he played in as well. But more notably, um, Grey's Anatomy, right?
Everyone knows him from Grey's Anatomy, and if you can't remember anything else, you're gonna remember him from Grey's Anatomy.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one's going to stand out for everybody because he was mixed steamy.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, and I watched part of the Netflix special, which was just recorded prior to his passing.
Yeah,
And it was like a love letter to his
his
daughters,
daughters. Yeah,
his family, to his his wife. And I couldn't get through it.
girl, I
I'm
still can't
telling
watch
you.
it. I can't watch it yet. Mm-mm.
I watched it and I'm listening and I'm watching him and I'm watching him talk, and just the amount of courage that he had to record that, and to be able to give basically his last words
Yeah,
to his fans, to the industry, to his children. Like, that is so amazing. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that, to talk about you, to talk about yourself, as if you're not here, and then also give guidance to your children and letting them know what you want for them and how you feel about them now. Like,
right.
it was breaking my heart. I said, I have to come back to this. I have
Aw.
to come back. I have to come back to it. But it was a great, great, great um specials thus far. I need to go back to it.
I
So
definitely need to go. I'm gonna watch it. I just can't watch it now. I was just like, oh man, that's gonna make me get my eyes get all moist and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna hold out right now. I can't watch it right now.
I am
I
telling
didn't even know
you,
he was sick. And
yeah.
so when it comes out that he did this video for his daughters, I was like, before he's passed, I was like, passing. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely is tough to watch, but it's a reminder for all of us, live life, live it out loud, live it unapologetically. And I believe he tells his daughters to love, and just he just gave them some true life wisdom, things that
Right.
he's learned, and things that in some cases that he's taken for granted, right? And imploring them not to do the same thing, but
Right.
live and love and find your people, find those people who are for you, and make it work, stick it out. It's like, whoa. It just wasn't only a lesson or a message to his daughters, it was a message to us as
Okay.
well, because I learned a lot from it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see. It's hard to watch in some cases,
Yeah.
but necessary because there's a true message in it.
Gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah. So Eric Dane, rest in peace. Um, we all will definitely remember you and the contributions that you've made to film and television alike. So,
Yeah.
in peace. So, with that being said, in true Eric Dane fashion, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about um, just living our life and loving out loud unapologetically. No matter what is going on, we need to stay true to ourselves and do what makes us happy. Because if we suffer, then the people around us suffer. And then, life is not fulfilling. And I've learned that, so that documentary was confirmation for me to continue doing what I'm doing, continue to not care about what anyone thinks,
Absolutely.
continue to make sure that it's my opinion that matters first above all else. Of course, I'm going to consult with God, but if it is not hurting anyone, if not if it's not causing strife or confusion or chaos to someone else, then and I'm doing it for me, that means it's okay. And I
Absolutely.
am right, and I implore you all
Yes.
to do that,
Yes.
to adopt that. Live your life and love out loud unapologetically. What do you think, Nicole?
Yeah. It's like what you just said. Like it's all about being able to be your true self and having peace and in your life that allows everything to flow effortlessly.
Yeah.
So and that could be, across the board, no matter what area in your life you want to put that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, child.
Right? I think I've spent so much time worrying about what other people would think and saying to myself, okay, well, how does this look? Or how does that look? I'm in a space now where, like, I don't care how it looks. If it makes me happy, I'm all in for it. And that has gotten me to such a place of freedom to not care, to love God out loud and be and be um transparent about my spiritual journey, about my emotional journey, the heartaches that I've had, and the things that have made me who I am, who have shaped me to who I am right now. It's like, what? I could care less what someone else thinks. And that's what we mean by living your life and then loving out loud unapologetically, no matter what anyone says. You want to
Hmm.
do that? You want to date that person? That's your business. You date them. If you
Hmm.
want to eat that food, let's eat that food. If it doesn't hurt you, if it's not hurting anybody else, you do that. It's really all about embracing who you are, all your weirdness, all your quirkiness, right? Everything that makes you you. Don't apologize for you being you, especially if it isn't hurting anyone.
Man, that
you
part.
know, like, come on, Nicole, what are you thinking?
I mean, listen, I'm flying. This is the Shaquana show right now because she got all the good. I'm gonna say. I mean, yeah, what you're saying is true. Everything that you're saying is true. And when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your relationships, settling your boundaries with your family, being able to be at one with yourself, being able to if you like you said, if you want to eat something and it's not hurting nobody else, go on do it. You want to be with that person, go on and do it. I'm piggybacking off of what she just said because it's a true statement. Like that's just what it is. You
Like,
know what I
you've
mean?
earned the right to
Yeah,
live how you want to live. You've earned that right.
yeah,
No one can take that from you. You do what you want to do, and you do it without apology.
yeah.
Be
You
you.
deserve it.
Oh gosh.
Asking for what you deserve and receiving what you deserve.
Oh wow, Nicole. Wow.
Listen,
And not stopping until you get what you deserve,
that
right?
part.
Right? So you can ask for it. You got to ask for it. And if you don't receive it, oh, then you know what? We're not aligned. Whether it's platonic or romantic, it's
Yep,
not. We're not aligned. If you can't give me what I deserve, and I know my worth. So if you don't see it, that's on you. But I know my worth. So if I see that you're not giving me what I'm worth, then you gotta go.
yep.
And sorry, but not sorry. Right?
Unapologetically.
Listen, being being done holding back who you are.
Yeah.
Done minimizing yourself to fit into a box
Oh,
that you did not place there. You're not meant to be caged. You're not meant to be placed in the box. It's like you're trying to fit a round peg into a
and that
square
square.
hole.
I say that all the time.
You
Yo,
can't. You can't do
listen.
it, right?
We say that when it comes to relationships, we always say that. We use that analogy when we talk about relationships, and
Mhm.
it's just it just fits so perfectly because if you have what she just described, if you have a round ball going into a square hole, you're not gonna fit it, or a square hole going into a round, trying to force it in. You can't do it. It's a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
So find the piece that works, with you, that's gonna fit into that slot perfectly. Okay, you ain't gotta shove it in there, cut no pieces off. Just make sure it fits in there perfectly, and everything's gonna be okay.
Correct. And we're not speaking from, I'm not speaking on a soapbox, right? Because
Mhm.
I've been where you were or where you are. If I've had these experiences where I would shrink to fit,
Yeah.
or what, to make someone else look tall, I would shrink. And it's like, wait a minute, hold up, is that fulfilling me? And it took a lot of healing. It took a lot of introspection, going inside, going within, to find who Shaquana really is.
Mhm.
And then saying, okay, what would I compromise? How much do I want to compromise to fit?
So I stopped that a long time ago, but I feel like, and I was about to say, when you're younger, you always try to, fit yourself in where you get in. But when you get older and wiser, and you see things for what they really are, you know that you don't need to sit there and squeeze into little spaces. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm here," see me, I'm just as pretty, just as smart. You don't have to do all that. You go where you're needed. You go where you're happy. You go where your brain can calm down. Where it's chaos and conflict. You stray away from that. You go in the opposite direction. Um, if they don't like me, they're lost. I don't give two flying you know what's okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like deuces, you're lost. I don't care. Um, there's just a lot of things, and I was about to put an age bracket on that, but it's really no age bracket, because you can be older, but your mind hasn't matured yet to understand the things that you need to understand. So, um, as mature as I am, right? There are things that I went through in my past, and back then you think you're mature then too, right? You think, hey, my brain, I'm like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, whatever the case may be. But then you realize where your errors were. You know what I mean? You take accountability for where you went wrong, and then fix that somewhere in your life, so that you can have that happy, peaceful ending on, or beginning someplace else. I shouldn't say ending, because you're going to keep going. You just learn from your situation, apply it somewhere else, and keep moving. That way you can keep going up that ladder, keep doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. But we talked about this before. It's like, when you sit there and try to fit into these awkward situations, you become stagnant.
Absolutely. And to your reference, when it comes to age, right? I know there are a lot of old fools out there, and there are people who want to give you life lessons but haven't really
Hmm.
lived their life. They haven't gone past the street that they grew up on. So life lessons cannot necessarily be learned um, by
On the
just
block.
sitting in. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we love you, and
Yeah.
the respect is always going to be there as an elder. However, I'm thinking big picture. And for you to try to tell me how to run a business or how to run a household when your household hasn't been, you haven't had a successful household,
Mhm.
or you haven't had a successful marriage or a successful business that you have ran,
Yeah.
I don't think that we can take that advice.
Right.
We can listen to you, but it's like, you spit the meat out with the, spit the bones out. What is that? You spit the bones out, you keep the meat, whatever I forget what it's called. um But it's like one of those analogies that you use to be like, okay, you take what's for you, and then you leave the rest.
Yeah.
And then you go and get the guidance that you need in order for you to elevate.
Yeah.
um
Of
and
course.
right, so
Yeah.
it definitely is. Right now, like, there's something freeing about not caring what people think. There's something so freeing about that.
Listen, we understand all too well because we both had our own situations that, got us to that point. Like, I can care less. And I'm not, and it's not being rude because you're not trying to be rude when you sit there saying, I don't care. Because if you have to care what everybody thought, oh my gosh, you'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
You'd be in so much trouble. I can care less. All that matters is, the end result is what you want, and that's it. What I want, and implementing what it is that I need. That's it.
Yeah,
What
for sure.
serves my situation. That's it. You ain't gotta worry about what everybody else. I can care less about if I make a decision and you were like, oh, well, I don't think that's your opinion. That's not saying that that's what it is that I gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, you know how when people be like, well, like my daddy. My daddy used to always say, well, when you gonna get married? When that day comes.
Hmm. Yeah.
When that day comes. My daddy used to always say that when it came to my kid's father. And it's not saying that I wasn't trying to marry him, right?
Yeah.
Things just wasn't right. And you know what I said about that. I was not trying to, because when I get married, I'm staying married. So that's just what it is. So I chose to take that marriage license back because things wasn't right. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Just because you have kids with somebody doesn't mean that you have to marry them. So I moved forward. I was able to, I'm glad that I was able to not put myself down that rabbit hole,
Yeah.
because it would have been harder to get myself out. And I was able to pick myself up and my children and move over,
Yeah.
a step or two. And then every time you move is another step or two. So, you know, some situations are harder than others, obviously. Everyone's situation is different. But it's just, I'm just using this as an example to show, like, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter if they're your parents, doesn't matter if they're your friends. Like, if it doesn't serve you, it does not, it shouldn't even play a part. You shouldn't be trying to consider it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And there's no one size fits all to this thing called
That
life.
too.
So, I've been married a number of times, and, I didn't get married to be divorced. However,
That's
things
not.
didn't work out. And
Yeah.
a lot of it was me not making the right decisions in my younger ages,
Hmm.
and not really understanding certain things. And I understand them now. I'm grateful for the experiences, even though while I was in them, I wasn't that grateful for them. Okay. I was not. Okay. But I understand that these things were for a reason, and they were lessons that I needed to learn
Yeah.
from these experiences that I've learned, and then I took them into my marriage, that my final marriage. I took those lessons into that, and so grateful that I did that, because I was able to deal with that particular marriage until he passed.
Yeah.
So, and that was, I feel, one of my most successful relationships, to where I was open and honest, and vulnerable, where I hadn't
Yeah.
been in previous relationships. So, again, there's no one size fits all to this thing, but it's all about embracing who you are and not dumbing yourself down to fit in a mold to somebody else and what they want you to be, who they want you to be. If they
Yeah.
can't accept you for who you are, then that's just on them. Then you have to move on and don't settle. There's something that someone told me, like,
I love that one.
Quana, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
say less, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then being okay to sever ties with people that maybe are not of your highest good. And there's the things that God is going to show you, or whoever you subscribe to, going to show you, like, hey, listen. this person is not for you. You have to be bold enough and take the fear out of this equation and then move forward regardless of what people think, because if it was not for your highest good, that means that it wouldn't be worked out, it wouldn't be good for you in the long run, right? So
Right.
take that necessary step while it may be scary, while it may be intimidating, but take it, and I promise you it will result in something fruitful later on down the line.
Yeah, you and I was speaking about that earlier about friendships also having expiration dates,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so yeah, it is true. Like and it's not saying like just because you and someone are no longer, friends doesn't mean that you have to be bitter about that person. You just it's just move on. Like you learn, you have great time, you had good times with that person, but now where you're going, they can't go.
Yeah.
So you just move on, appreciate the time spent, and then elevate. And that's it.
Yeah, and you have to be okay with that, because there are people who bring chaos and things into your life, and there's some people that God is trying to remove from your life so that he can elevate you. He can't elevate you when you are carrying other people's baggage along. It's not going to work.
Right.
And you have to be okay again with saying, okay, I'm sorry, I have to sever ties. Now that person may not like it, but that's not your problem. You have to do what's best for you. And when you're okay with not caring about people talking about you and slandering your name and defaming your character, like,
Hmm.
oh, she was this and she was that. Okay, yep, I'll be that. But guess what? I'm over here. I'm happy. I'm glowing. I'm doing what I'm doing. So obviously,
Yeah,
I did the right thing. Obviously, I'm
absolutely.
over here in peace and tranquility, and you still over there in chaos and confusion. Who actually is the one that made the right decision?
Dang. But
You know?
boom.
So yeah, so it's, you think about it like that, and then you just like you silence the background noise, and you just say whatever.
Yeah,
You just keep moving forward and still and continue to elevate, continue to do the things that you want to do, continue to do the things that God has created you to do. If you want to start a business, start a business. That business that you have been putting on the back burner forever, start that before
yeah,
you had all of these people, all of these distractions around you. Now there's no distractions. Start your stuff, do what it is that you want to do, a dream that you have. You want to write a book? Start writing.
yeah.
Start doing the things that make you happy and that fulfill you. And I promise you, it will be fruitful for you. It will be something that you're going to look back on and say, oh, I'm so happy I did that. I'm so happy I did
Girl,
that. So,
she said a lot. That's a whole fact right there.
right?
Yeah.
Man, listen. So, again, we here at Real Conversation encourage you to live out loud and love unapologetically. We encourage you to do so. So, well, thank you so much for watching. I am your host, Quanta Terry,
And I'm your host, Nicole Jones. And
and you can find us on YouTube every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at real underscore podcast. Real underscore combos underscore podcast. Child, it's been a minute.
I
Let's start that
know
over. Roll the tape back, okay? Roll it back. You can find us on YouTube, okay? At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at real underscore combos underscore podcast. And then you can also find us on Facebook as well. Where can they find us, Nicole?
at Real Conversations 2021.
All right. So thank you again for your patience with us, and thank you for watching. God bless.